Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Previously On. This is the week of October the 16th, or 15th. Sorry, it's 8/16. And I got my 15 and 16 mixed up there. I am your host, Lemus. With me, as always, is my co host, Digital.chi.
Did you have
How's
to
it going
say it
this
that
week?
way?
I didn't have to, but I kind of chose to, and I do regret choosing to because it didn't sound right or feel right. But we can't go back now. No sense in looking in the past or folks dwelling on the past. Yeah, how you doing today?
Alive. He's feeling
That's
better.
that's counting for something. I mean, you know what? There you go. Glass half full kind of perspective right there. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. So we've been away for a minute. Obviously had some stuff going on. Being the birth of my child, which we had discussed last time. And kind of, we've discussed for a while now that had been coming throughout the year, past 9 months to be specific. But yeah, so we went, and I'm just gonna do a quick breeze through, filling you guys in, but I'm actually going to do another separate video later on, kind of doing more of an in-depth breakdown of our time at the hospital and our labor story, if you will. Yeah, basically, we checked in Friday afternoon to the hospital. She got induced Saturday morning, and by Saturday, October the 2nd at 12:19, right around lunchtime, a little bit before lunchtime, um, Ivy Elizabeth Joanne Nunn was born and came into the world. And yeah, so then the past 2 weeks since then, we have just been dealing with a lot of baby stuff, a lot of finding a new routine, learning a lot about parenting and learning a lot about his life in general. It's been, it's mixed results, right? As any parent will tell you, like the thing is, it's definitely been stressful and crazy and sleepless nights and just a lot of worry and then a lot of like frustration and stuff and all of that. But also from a parenting end, it is kind of worth it. Like, even though, yeah, right now we're still in that point where like she's not old enough to really do anything yet. And I know that a lot of the things that I'm anxious about with being a parent and with her growing up and stuff still is to come. Like the whole watching her develop her favorite foods and favorite movies and being able to run around and play and go to the park and stuff. But it's still worth it already. I'd say
What's
that's
gonna
anyway. I
happen?
mean,
What's gonna happen if she doesn't like anything nerdy?
then I guess it'll become not a we'll change the channel to not a mascot productions and we'll talk about sports. No, I mean that's fine. I mean, I would encourage her to chase her passions and whatever dreams she has, even if they're different than mine. That's what
So
makes the
what you're
world go
saying
round.
is we shouldn't strap her into a chair, tape her eyelids open, and make her watch Digimon over and over and over and over until she likes it?
No,
Is that a no
no.
or a no with the
That's
wink?
a that's a it depends on how much of a non-nerd she is. That's a depends on there's factors there, right? I mean, it's one of those things like I think if it came down to that, like she was just absolutely hated nerd culture and like hated like the fact that I liked it, I would just start doing subliminal things like the real shady stuff, just like make her like pancakes one morning, but do like a little Digimon design on the pancakes or like a Star Wars pancake, and then like maybe one day when putting on her lullaby music for the night, maybe I slip in a lullaby version of the Star Wars theme or the Pokemon theme in there. Just slowly things building over time to where like her brain just subconsciously becomes nerd. That's parenting 101 right there. You got to be subliminal with everything. It's like,
Anyway,
"Dad, you made me nerdy pancakes." No, it didn't. That's just a coincidence that it looks like that. They seen that water stain that looked like the Virgin Mary. It's the same thing. It's not actually a TIE fighter. It just your brain's just making you think it looks like a TIE fighter. You gotta go through the kitchen
where do
like
we go?
humming, like random tune.
You just whenever something changes on the TV, you just feel like it was just morphin time. Just went to a different
Yeah.
channel. Just morphed to a
Right,
different
yeah,
channel.
just start using fitting quotes in everywhere.
Anyway,
Right.
um,
So,
you went more
yeah,
deep into thought than that than I expected.
you weren't talking about strapping people down and forcing them to watch stuff like CIA style.
Well, what do you want from me?
Thinking of less hostile ways. I guess mine was kind of CIA style too, going subliminal messaging. Oh gosh. Anyhow, so what else have we got? Well, that's the biggest thing. Like I said, we're gonna try to do, me and the wife are gonna try to do some more baby videos actually talking about our labor experience and the birthing experience and stuff at the hospital, like what the days was like and the nights, and then walk through our first week, first couple weeks after, and maybe even kind of do like a regular update thing, like every month or every couple months, just updating what new thing we're learning and experiencing in parenting for any parents out there or any new, old, soon to be just curious parents, just all that we'll update because, like I said, it is a very heavy pro and con thing. Like there's a lot to it that I do want to break down and give message out there for people. But yeah, so it's been busy and that's why we've been away from videos and stuff. But we're slowly finding a little bit of a routine, not much, but a little bit of one. It helps where I'm work from home that I can still try to start making videos again. That I'm trying to start doing a few things. So be on the lookout for all that. What about you? You been doing anything interesting lately, sir?
Khakis.
Nice.
That
Nice.
look, I thought you were gonna just want to smack me through the screen.
I was trying to think of a way to verbally smack you through the screen and I couldn't come up with one, so nice was all I could come up with.
I've been playing a lot of New World still.
Have you been playing a lot of New World, or are you like living, breathing, absorbing New World from what I hear?
Obsessing would be the word.
That's the word.
Is the word.
Exactly. Not a
Yeah,
bad thing, though.
I've been playing a lot of it. Like a lot of it.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, as far as an obsessions goes, at least, I mean, look, that's tame considering like it's not drugs, it's not alcohol, it's not murder by the moonlight,
Well, to
it's
be
not
fair
like,
though, if I got some cocaine, I could play even longer.
oh my gosh. Look, we're not condoning, first of all, let us say, Not a Sidekick Productions does not condone the use of drugs, alcohol, or violence of any kind.
I
We are
condone one of those things. Drugs and
say,
alcohol are not it.
just say you condone violence.
I'm a very.
You did
I do
You
punch
did get
stuff
in
a
an
lot.
altercation recently. I won't go into details, but you did get into an
I choked the
altercation,
guy out. Okay, whatever.
and he hurt your ribs, possibly broke, but we're not sure.
They're better now, ish.
Well, then they were bruised, probably, which is still not good. Mind you, it's still not good. Kids, don't do this. We're supposed to be heroes, not sidekicks. That is sidekick behavior. Doing drugs is sidekick behavior, and you know how I
Doing
can
drugs
prove
is
it?
villain
Speedy.
behavior.
But Speedy was a sidekick, and he did drugs too. So there you go.
Weren't they forced on him though? And then he got addicted.
Tomato.
And that leads us into our first thing of the day.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. More along the line of superhero thing.
Right. Well, we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna breeze through these other things real quick. We got a routine to hold. We're professionals, Dachi. Come on. I've been away for a couple weeks, and you think that routine goes out the window? What's wrong with you? Gosh.
Do
See,
you have
this
that
is
kind
why,
of time?
Yes, I do. This is why I had to come back for you
You
guys.
literally don't have
because
that kind of time to deal with all my problems.
This is why I had to return, because you see what you'd have been left with? This guy would have just thrown the book out the window and had you guys reciting poetry and balancing on your head and like fighting coworkers. I mean,
No, you're not wrong. Except
anyhow,
the poetry
so
part. I don't know any poetry.
that's
Doth
fair.
thou, mother, know he weareth her drapes?
That's more Shakespeare, but I'll take it.
Whatever.
Shakespeare did poetry, but you know. So watching. What have you watched anything recently? Anything of value or interest or intrigue? Oh, yes, you did. You did watch something.
I watched the
Let
new
there
Venom,
be.
new
Yep.
Venom movie. I don't know why I forgot that.
Let there be carnage.
I don't want to
I'm
talk about it
jealous.
though because you're not here with me.
Oh,
I'm here. He's like way down here, and I need him up here.
well, yeah, because it's the thing. Because I was going to say, yeah, because it is going to be hard for you to talk too much about. Because I was literally the weekend that it came out was
Well,
the
here
weekend we
I'll
went in
try
on.
to stick to just what was in the trailers.
Okay.
Carnage was done beautifully. Like his look was perfect. The only weird thing was he always had those little like tentacle things come out of his back, which I don't recall him doing a lot of. He kind
Yeah.
of was like Venom all the time. He was just a more slender, like let me make a blade out of my arm Venom type
Oh,
thing.
nice. Yeah.
That's what I recall from the comics and the shows. He might have always had them tendrils out of his back, but Woody Harrelson, he does a great job.
I'm
Like the
excited for
man
that.
is
Yeah.
made to be like a sociopath, serial killer,
Most
freak.
roles he does is kind of like that. Yeah.
Um,
Save for like Zombieland, which he still does great in.
the guy that does Eddie, he reprises that role great.
Tom Hardy. Yes.
He does
Yes.
really good job. Without saying a whole lot to ruin it,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, No Way Home, the new Spider-Man movie, is not where the start of the Spider-Verse is. Believe it or not, this
Okay.
has something to do with it.
Okay. So to do some kind of tie-in, that'll be
Well,
interesting.
this is timeline-wise. I think Let There Be Carnage is supposed
Yeah.
to be set after No Way Home.
And that's fair. And they could be doing that because the way the way the
DC's
MCU
been or
timeline is
DC
so
MCU does that a lot. I don't know why it's DC.
right.
Right, because we were talking about it
Because
earlier.
like literally you had like Black Widow came out this year, and Black Widow took place in between Civil War and Infinity War. So like they jumped back 3 movies with Black Widow, which took place 3 movies ago. So I mean, at this point, timeline wise, you never know. And then Loki took place all over the timeline because it focused on timelines and timey wimey junk. So yeah, but I am excited to watch it. It does look good. The first Venom was really good. I actually do I have it? Yeah, I have it. I know you can't see it because I've got my thing back. When my hand was up there, you could almost see it. Wait, nope, that's not it. There it
Can't
is, right
see it
behind my hand.
because you're. Oh yeah, yes you can.
You see like fragments of it. But if you go back to older videos, it's in the older videos. I have the Tom Hardy Venom poster from when it came out October a couple years back on my wall. So that shows you. Yeah, big fan of Spider Verse. I'm a big fan of Carnage, so I'm definitely excited and looking forward to watching it. I am glad that you enjoyed it and gave it a good review, though. That does because when it comes to superhero stuff, we typically share similar views on stuff. So it is good to get a good recommendation from that. Have you watched anything else recently?
Uh,
I remember
I,
Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I can't remember if you said you've watched anything.
I want to say there was something, but I can't remember.
Same.
Well, I rewatched Step Brothers.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew there was something. Well, how was that? That's a good movie,
I
from
mean,
what I recall. It's been a while.
I mainly quoted the whole thing because I've watched it so much.
There you go.
It and
It is a
Spaceballs are probably Spaceballs, Pacific Rim,
good movie.
and Star Wars. I can quote almost all them movies.
I got a question for you. Speaking of movies, real quick, this is like a side step thing, but because I know how much you love Spaceballs, have you ever seen a movie called Galaxy Quest?
No,
Okay, because
I
that's
know
when
it's got the guy that played what's his face on Home Improvement in it.
yes, Tim Allen is in it. Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman is in it. Good old Severus Snape. And it's got some other big names in it. I think Bill Hader's in it. Uh, Seth Green maybe is in it. Maybe. No, it's Justin Long is in it. Anyhow, it's basically like kind of spoofing Star Trek the way Spaceballs kind of spoofed Star Wars. Um, like a lot of people, a lot of like Galaxy Quest has kind of like a cult fan following, which I'm one of those. I love Galaxy Quest. And a lot of people call it the best Star Trek movie that isn't a Star Trek movie. Um, and so I would really like to get you sometime when you come over to watch that one and get your thoughts on it. I think you'd really enjoy it. But besides that, so on our end this week, I know we finished Midnight Mass, which was the new Mike Flanagan project on Netflix. So Mike Flanagan did Doctor Sleep. He did Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor. He did Gerald's Game. He did Hush. A lot of these really good Netflixy, well, and even in movies. Most of them are Netflix, but Doctor Sleep obviously was the sequel to The Shining that came out in actual theaters. But all of these are horror related projects. And then this year he did Midnight Mass, which was just as good as all of his other stuff. He's easily right now one of my top 3 favorite horror directors, maybe of all time, but definitely top like favorite modern horror directors. He's just killing it. And Midnight Mass was no exception. It's so good, beautifully shot, creepy, eerie, uh, concept with a twist and stuff. It went in all these directions you didn't expect it, and it was just a thrilling, fun ride. It unlike Hill House and Bly Manor, which were very much more ghost focused and like haunted house focused, this one had, without giving too many spoilers, was a bit more of a monster twist. So if you like monster movies or classic Universally monster type stuff, definitely check out Midnight Mass. We started Squid Game, the ever popular. It's growing. Everyone's talking about Squid Game. Everybody's excited about it, and I kind of see why. We finally
Not
started.
everybody, because I have no idea what it is.
Okay, so I was wondering because it's been kind of everywhere. So I'm a little surprised you've not seen or heard of it, but I'm excited to introduce you to the idea of it. So we watched the trailer before it got hyped up. This was before it ever came out. This was like months ago when they released the first trailer footage of it. And I watched it, and just based on the trailer alone, I instantly went home. Hey, watch this. We need to watch this when it comes out. This is interesting. Um, and and then it came out, and we was in the middle of Midnight Mass, and I didn't want to start a new show till I finished that one. So, but during the like 3 days it took us to finish Midnight Mass to where we could start Squid Game, it exploded, and everyone was talking about Squid Game. I'm like, well, we got to start it now. We're definitely gonna watch it. So, the concept basically is, so it's like, I think it's a South Korean production, but they have a dubbed version and a subbed version. You can watch either one on Netflix. But basically, it's these people that are all in like in debt and owe money and stuff. Like the main character, he goes through the whole ropes of he owes money to like these mob guys, and he's living with his mom, and he's separated from his wife and daughter, and like he can't even afford to take her out to a good place to eat or buy her a present. And she's talking about her stepdad got her this and that. And just kind of down on his luck type dude, but he has gambling problems. Every time he gets a little bit of money, he takes it and blows it on gambling, horse tracks, all this stuff. So this guy in a suit shows up, and he's got 2 little envelopes. There's like a blue one and a red one. And he's like, "Hey, it's kind of like Pogs a little bit, but it's like they have the envelopes, and you got to smack the other one and cause it to flip over, pop it up, and flip it. And he's like, if you do, for every time you can hit mine, he said, I'll give you $1,000. For every time I hit yours, you owe me $1,000." And the guy told him, he's like, "I don't have any money. I don't even have money." He goes, "Well, okay, well then I'll smack you for every time that I hit yours. I'll just slap you across the face."
Well, that
And
seems
like they
incredibly
do,
painful.
it's a bit crazy, but
Like, somebody
he's like,
smacks me, they better be expecting to get hit.
right. And so when he there is that where he almost does that because the dude is like kicking his butt every time and keeps smacking him across the face. And then that main character, he gets fed up, and he finally pops that dude's over. And he's like, "Oh, now I get to hit you." And then the guy's like, "Wait a minute, here's your $1,000. Do you not want the $1,000?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Completely forgot he was playing for 1,000 on his end. He just wanted to smack the dude back at that point." But so then he gives him a card. He says, if you want to play a different game, you come here at this time. So anyhow, long story short, they gather up all these people. I think at the start of it, there's like 400 and something people that they have of all walks of life. They've all done this things, and they've fallen from glory, kind of thing. Um, And basically, the idea is they make these people play kids games, but with way darker twists. So, and this isn't really spoilers because it's in the trailer and stuff, and it's in all the advertising. It's one everybody knows about. The first game they play is Red Light Green Light, which you remember we played Red Light Green Light when we were kids. Like that was a game I remember us playing a lot at outside the church and stuff after school. And if you don't know the game Red Light Green Light when you're kids, there's one person that'll say like green light, and then everybody's got to try to run to get past a certain point. And say red light, and you got to stop. And if like you're moving or if you're caught moving after they say red light, then you're out. So in this version of it, you've got all these people lined up, and there's this big like weird freaky doll robot thing. And she'll like turn her head around and do like the green light, and they'll start running. And then she'll turn it around real fast and say red light. And like if any of them move, they're shot. Like it's just there's like sniper rifles lined up all through these little like windows, and just takes them out. So like if you get caught red light, you're dead. There's no out. Just go stand over here and wait for your friends to finish the game. You're dead. And they do a bunch of like it's all like kids games, but turned kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? And turned deadly. So the whole thing is, if you win, whoever's left standing at the end of 6 games is going to receive this prize money. And it's filling up in this thing. They all have to live and sleep and eat in this same place, which is like all hidden away and stuff. But we're on episode 6. I think we're fixing to start episode 6, and it is just really, it's crazy. It's crazy, but in a good way. So that's Squid Game. Today we watched Halloween Kills, which I'm not going to see too much on it yet because I know you're going to see it next
I
week.
want to see it next either Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided. I go on vacation after this week. Woot woot.
Nice, congrats, sir. So, yeah, Halloween Kills was great. Not going to say any more about it. It was really, really good.
Better not, I'll cut you.
But that's all I'll say. We will talk more about it on next week's podcast because it'll be close to Halloween. Be doing a Halloweeny podcast anyways. That'll work out well. Other Halloween things that we watched this week. We watched all 4 Halloween Town movies. We watched Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy one. We watched the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which was like a new thing on Disney Plus that they did, which is really cute and a lot of fun. We watched a movie called The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal. Really super intense. He's a 911 operator, and this woman's been kidnapped and like calls him and stuff. But it's really intense. The whole thing takes place in like the little call center where he's at taking the call. Like you never actually see the woman, even when he's like calling other police to try to help track down where she's being held or taken and stuff. And he calls like his ex-wife and stuff. Like he's constantly making all these calls and stuff and trying to work out different scenarios. But it's all takes place. You never see any of that. It's all just through his headphones and his little phone calls thing and his reactions and stuff. And you hear the voices, but really intense, really good movie. I think that's it on watching. And on playing, I know you said you've been playing a lot of New World. On my end, Sea of Thieves. We've played Sea of Thieves last night.
Sea of Thieves last night, which we're gonna redo that first one.
Yeah, I think we should.
We started the Jack Sparrow adventure. It's really neat, like super neat.
I like it.
James said there's a lot of correlations between it and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride down in Universal or Disney World.
Disney World, yeah.
Disney World. I've never been either, so I wouldn't. I don't know.
That's fair.
But
maybe it's something to strive for. That's the word.
But yeah, we're gonna do the whole 5-part thing, which by my thought process, it's probably gonna be broke up in like 6 sections per thing. So like one mission will be probably 6 episodes. But that's just because the length of it. It took us an hour with us goofing off. It'd probably take us 45 minutes with us not goofing. Because there was the downtime with having to get Ivy all set up.
Yeah. So it's not too bad. But yeah, I think it'll go well. It was a lot of fun. I can say first impressions is that first chapter is a lot of fun. I like the way that it imbued the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, like a story kind of campaign in with the Sea of Thieves actual stuff itself and the bit of storytelling weaved in. There's a ton. They really focused on the different mechanics. You had one part that like platforming and kind of like puzzle solving. Then you had one part that was more just exploration and kind of learning more about stuff. And then you had a part that was all on a boat and cannon fights and
Key
fighting off
characters showing up.
right key characters showing up. So there was
We'll
a
keep it
lot of like
kind
fun
of,
stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm
kinda
saying.
guessy, but
So that's what I'm saying. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that. Was there any other game stuff you wanted to talk about before we get into our meat and potatoes section?
I'll say it for the people that do still play it, which if you do, God bless you for whatever reason. I don't know why you would still support it because of what they've done, but Animal Crossing has released info for their new update. Now,
Yeah,
where I'm at with that is
yeah.
it took way too long. I've lost interest. You
Have you
screwed
though?
up. I have.
Have you though?
I have. Unless Graboids are in it. Graboids are in it,
Yeah,
then I'll take it.
yeah.
But I
Okay,
don't think
then
they
I
are.
guess you're taking it. Then
I
I
didn't
guess you're
see nothing
taking.
about it. I didn't see nothing about it.
Okay, well I will send you the video, sir.
Okay, send me a
Because
video, sir.
I was, I
That's the
was.
only way I'll
No,
do
no,
it.
listen. I'm not doing this hostile. I'm trying to be friendly here. I'm trying to. Hold on. You come. This is that violence that's on. You see what happens when I'm away this
I'm
long?
good. I've got my hands in my pocket.
Anyhow, yes, I agree though. Me and my wife, I mean, we were the biggest Animal Crossing advocates of anybody, and they did take so long. But they did the Nintendo Direct, Animal Crossing Direct this morning was a 20-minute direct. This is maybe a little longer, a little shorter, but holy cow, they're stuffing it full of stuff. Now, the only downside is I do have some pros and cons with it, but they are bringing in new characters, new locations, new all kinds of new stuff to do and new decoration stuff. They are bringing in farming and cooking, like recipe stuff.
Yeah,
They're
I've seen
bringing
that
in.
part.
They are bringing in gyroids. You're going to dig them up like they was fossils stuff. You can even like grow them at some point
I
and
like
put
how
them
I
in your
call them
house.
graboids because isn't that what the thing in trimmers are called?
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah,
Other than
definitely
the
don't want
ass
that in
blasters,
Animal
but we're
Crossing.
not going to go to that.
Yeah, we don't need that in Animal Crossing. But yeah, the gyroids. So they are coming back, and I will send you a thing about it because I seen that, and I even told my wife. I said, "Well, Dachi's going to be in. Dachi's going to be happy because that's what he's been waiting for."
That's
And
the only thing I
there's-
cared about. If you remember, and I,
well, I told her,
I'll tell our freaking age by saying this. Back in the original, when we played on GameCube, when we
GameCube,
were
yep.
probably 10 or 11,
And here, let me
my
set the picture.
whole
even more.
basement was nothing but those
Gyroids. Yeah, I remember. Well, that's what I told my wife. I said that's all his house was gyroids. But let me set this picture even more on the age thing, on the GameCube thing. For you kids that are playing New Horizons now, playing Animal Crossing now, we did not have online play. We did not, and like you couldn't just like the whole thing where you take your tent and move your house wherever you want. No,
you had to start where it puts you.
Yeah, even putting your stores or your tent, your other things where the museum where you want it. No. So in the original GameCube, you had a central plaza which had 4 houses and a little the message board was in the center, and you had 4 houses. You always had 4, and you could pick, and then like your friends and stuff could pick from the other houses. But again, it was still single player. You was all just take turns, right? So I had a house. My younger brother had a house. My stepbrother had a house and Dachi had a house, all on this same save data or whatever, same GameCube game. But like for Dachi, the only time he'd get to like really work on his house or do his stuff is if he came over to hang out. And then he'd go and work on his, and then just out of me and my siblings, whoever got on it whenever we was able to get on it, or whoever got on first would get to work on their stuff. And then like your Tom Nook stuff, your museum. Back in those days, we had a police station. That was just set wherever your island
station was
layout.
for.
Lost and Found.
Oh yeah, now they use the junkyard, right?
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh, and Reset-y. You remember if you reset the game? Oh God,
he gets so mad. So mad.
KK would only show up on Saturdays, and if you messed with the time, which we often did, they still got. There was like repercussions for messing with. It's like we know you're time traveling.
Yeah, they could tell. What's what I'm saying? And then like your weeds would always be super out of control if you time travel too. And then also this was a thing too. I don't know if you remember this. Back in the day, this was big on any games from our childhood. But the rumors, right? All the rumors about if you did things a certain way. Like now in this age where we have Google and everything's internet and social media, like it was not as prevalent back in our day. Like there, we had forms of internet, but nowhere near what it is today. So like when you had a rumor about a video game,
You had to test it to make sure it
you
was
had to
true.
test it or like know that there's somebody. So like the earliest one I can remember, obviously, is like Pokemon, right? Whenever you'd hear about like missing No or the rumor about Mew on how to get Mew, there was all these different. I've heard probably 100,000 different ways to get a Mew in Pokemon when I was a kid. There was one where it was under a truck. If you looked under some kind of truck, there
So
was
truck
one.
and Celadon, maybe?
I think it was, yeah. And you got to use like strength or something on it. There was one where if you go the Pokemon Center beside Mount Moon, right beside the entrance to Mount Moon, there's a guy that'll sell you a Magikarp for $500. If you buy that Magikarp and then take it to the daycare and leave it in the daycare until it was level 99 and take it out, it's supposed to turn into a Mew. That was one I heard.
I hadn't heard that one. I did hear that
Oh,
if you took that Magikarp and you put it in the daycare till level 20 and it evolved into a Gyarados, it turned into a shiny. But
see, I
that's
didn't
not
know that one
true because there was no shinies until
till Gold and Silver.
Gold and Silver.
Technically, we had
Yeah.
Red Gyarados. Yeah,
Yep.
a Rake of Rage, Lake of Rage, a Rake of Rage. Yeah, yeah.
You just okay.
But no, so with Animal Crossing, the rumor was, which is, here's the thing: as an adult, as a human being with a brain, I'm like that. Just I realize how absurd, and even if it was real, how weird it would be nowadays. But as a kid, you're just like, cool. There was a thing on Animal Crossing, the original on GameCube, right, the one we grew up with. If you played for an entire year, if you had to log on every single day for an entire year without time traveling, then apparently it unlocked where you could marry one of the animal villagers, one of your neighbors. And there was a whole ceremony. I know it's weird to think about now because I'm like, why would they put that in there? How would that work? That's disturbing. No offense to
Bestiality,
furry.
sir. Bestiality.
Yeah, it's some furry stuff. But as a kid, I'm just like, oh, it's a cool game mechanic. It's like a game rumor. So no matter how weird it sounds, it's something new and different and something to unlock. But I'm just like, I'm never gonna get that. I time travel too much.
You did time travel a lot.
But it was a lot of fun.
You did screw our whole island up, or our little place up one time by time traveling. I remember that.
Well, yeah, look, Trunks is my favorite Dragon Ball Z character. What can I say? I'm trying to save every timeline.
I wonder freaking Barry Allen ain't your favorite superhero. Jesus Christ.
Fair enough. Speaking of favorite superheroes, tomorrow is DC Fandom. So last year they did this. It was their own version of like a Comic Con at home virtual fan event, free to everybody. They streamed it on their page, and then also I think IGN streamed it on YouTube. And yeah, they had like interviews with directors and actors and comic book creators and authors. They had videos, clips, announcements, just a little bit of everything, dude. They announced the Gotham Knights video game, the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game. They announced what's the other one before? They announced some comic stuff, announced like some Neil Gaiman Sandman information. They talked about Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman 84, which was coming out that year. It was fixing to come out. The new Suicide Squad, they announced it and announced the cast for it, which has also since come out. But at that time, who knew, right? And then they did the teaser trailer for the new Batman movie, the upcoming The Batman with Robert Pattinson in it. And like I said, they also had Dwayne Johnson came on there and talked about Black Adam. Is a huge thing, and this year they're talking like it's going to be even bigger and better and crazier. They're saying that like a lot of them are saying that. So tomorrow they're supposed to release
Another
the
Batman trailer. Yeah.
Right. So the one they released last year, which was amazing. So I've rewatched that trailer probably more than any trailer I've ever like watched. Like I've sat and rewatched that trailer. And that was just the teaser trailer. Apparently, we're getting the full length trailer tomorrow. And apparently, a lot of people that's got to see early copies of it and stuff are saying that it's going to break the internet because it's that awesome. So I'm pretty hyped about it. It's because it's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific time, which we're over in Eastern time. So for us, it's going to be 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. So it'll be
Yeah.
about lunchtime. And it's supposed to, I think they said, run for 3.5 hours. They're going to announce everything from Shazam to Aquaman to the Flash movie, the Batman movie, Black Adam. And then they're going to talk about shows like Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl. They're going to talk about there was something else. I think they're going to talk about Gotham Knights some more. Just delve into a little bit of everything DC wise, and I'm excited. Like I said, I am a Marvel fanboy at heart, but I do still have a big place in my heart for DC, especially all things Batman. We talked about this last week. I've got this nice. Mine's not as Gothamy as Dachi's, but I got close as I could here. So for today, I wanted to talk about some Batman stuff. We all know Dotch is a big Bat fan. He's known as Uncle Batman nickname. He's got tons of Batman merch. I mean, and like I said, so I wanted to dive into a little bit of this. We've not really got to sit and deep dive. And don't get me wrong, we could deep dive for hours and multiple episodes of talking about Batman stuff. But I got a few topics I'm just going to hit on tonight, just to kind of get
At
everybody
any
pumped
point of
and
this,
ready.
are you going to trigger me and I'm going to have to choke you?
I would hope not. I don't think I've got anything like that in here.
Because I have Gorilla Glue. I'm afraid to put it on your beard.
Listen here, Grodd. Not now. I know it is a Flash villain, but Batman has crossed paths with Grodd before. Hear me out.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay.
But now you mention it.
So I'm going to start off with the elephant in the room with the There's not a Batman villain based on an elephant, is there? I think there should be.
Of.
I don't know any
This
super
ain't
villain based on an
Spider-Man.
elephant. Well, Spider-Man fights Rhino, which is close to an elephant. I think I want to make an elephant themed supervillain and call him the Pachyderm. Wait. There's not an elephant themed villain, but the Teen Titans have a villain called Mammoth. That could kind of count.
Sure.
He's with Hive. Yeah. Anyhow, we're talking about Batman. Teen Titans. What's that got to do with Batman?
Nightwing.
I know. I was being sarcastic. Did you not hear the sarcasm?
What's sarcasm?
Right. That thing that you're doing right now.
What's Sean
Yeah, right. So let's talk about the big question, right? This is controversial, but all views and statements expressed here at Not a Sidekick Productions are simply our humble opinions. We are professionals in the Not a Sidekick Productions realm, but we are not professionals in fact making. I think. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't have any idea.
Okay, so basically, your favorite Batman, like performer,
George Clooney.
Okay, George Clooney, and I respect that. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. That's also my wife's favorite.
Although I will say, recent times, Ben Affleck did a great job.
Oh, Batfleck did a really good job. He definitely
really
pulled off the jawline and the chin for it. He had a good cow face, if that makes sense.
I wasn't a fan of the voice modulation like they did for Iron Man more or less, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Bit robotic, yeah. Again, mine's kind of an unpopular opinion. I really like the Val Kilmer Batman. I know a lot of people didn't like his Batman, and to be fair, I think maybe I just liked his Bruce Wayne more. I don't know, but for me, he had that suave kind of cause he had the hair slicked back kind of thing, and the real kind of sophisticated kind of act whenever he was doing the Bruce Wayne. And also, I just liked that movie. I liked the Val Kilmer Batman movie because that was with Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson. and you had Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. So I really
Man,
liked
that was really good. It was a good movie.
Right, and I think maybe that's why I cling to Val Kilmer as being my favorite Batman. Maybe it's less about his Batman and just more about his Batman movie. I need to rewatch it. I need to go through and rewatch a lot of these to really get into the psyche on why that is.
Well, I
But
mean,
yeah,
mine could be biased just because I like Mr. Freeze, and that was the George Clooney Batman.
fair enough. And see, that one also had Chris O'Donnell as Robin. So again, Chris O'Donnell did a good job as Robin. He branched over between two different Batmen to make that work.
You know, he actually took the Nightwing costume.
That's awesome. I respect that. I would take it. Why not?
I mean, who else is going to wear it? It's fitted straight to him. Nobody's going to be like him.
Mhm.
I don't know. Supposedly,
awesome.
I don't know. There was an interview where he said he did. It was on some talk show at night.
If I had that, I would have to like display it glass case style, like in the Batcave in my house somewhere.
Oh, I would
I would
make
just have
a
like the
Batcave.
full thing. Right, and then just expand around.
If I
it.
had
Yeah.
a wife, I'd be like, honey, I'm sorry, the next $10,000 we get is all going into this floor.
Well, like, because that's it too, especially as an actor, right? Like, the thing is, because I like the idea of the whole wall of the different bat suits, and I was thinking, well, but he only really played Robin twice, and I think it was the same costume both times. But then I was like, but then he played in a lot of other roles. Like, he was in Three Musketeers. You could put your Three Musketeers garb up there. Man, that would be cool. I like it. So next is another big question, and this one is more than just the live action. This is going to expand comics, anything. I've constantly said, and I know we could go on for days about this, and we will have a more in-depth conversation. But your favorite Batman villain, your favorite villain from the Rogues Gallery of Gotham's worst.
Yeah, I'm going to exclude Freeze from this because to me, he's not really a villain.
Right.
He's more of an anti-villain because he's not a hero in any capacity.
No, yeah.
But he's not a villain either. He's trying to save his wife, so.
Fair enough.
That being
I have
excommunicated.
an argument to make against that, but I'm going to wait and let you finish, and then I'll make my opinion as an argument to that. Because I do agree that he is just trying to save his wife, and I do love Freeze, but I would agree even a misunderstood villain is still a villain.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But that's an opinion thing. Like, I get where you're coming
Let's see. A very underrated one is Clayface.
Clayface is very underrated.
I like Clayface.
Now, to be fair, and I do like Man-Bat. See, Man-Bat was one I was thinking about because he doesn't get enough love, and he's kind of a tortured character too. Because he's experimenting, I think, trying to get rid of cancer or something.
I can't remember because in the animated series, which is obviously, it's not as lighthearted as you would think, but it's a lot less dark than what the comics from his character origin is.
Right.
Which I can't remember exactly straight off the top of my head, but in the cartoon, he was just doing scientific experiments. And this is all the animated series.
That, right?
Yeah. It's like a 2 or 3 part thing.
Well, like there's a whole club. They could start a club because like the Lizard, Kurt Connors from Spider-Man's thing, kind of same thing. He's like a scientist teacher. He's trying to fix his messed up arm, his lost limb, and experiment with regrowing stuff, and it ends up turning him. He's like, oh well, animal DNA, this creature DNA will work. Turns himself into the Lizard. You've got Kirk Langstrom, I believe, is Man-Bat, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. He had some kind of disease, something was wrong. He was trying to cure it, and he's like, oh, this strand of DNA from bats helps to cure this. I'll experiment on myself. Turned himself into Man-Bat. Even Morbius, he had a rare blood disease and was trying to cure it, and through messing around with vampire bats, turned himself into the living vampire.
I didn't watch Morbius. I kind of wish I had.
The new movie's not out. I'm excited for the new movie. They keep teasing it, and they've not really.
I thought it was already out.
No, I'm just going based off the comics and the cartoons.
Do you think Kraven the Hunter would be in that movie since he's all the time looking for Morbius?
I would love it. I like Kraven the Hunter. He's a really good one.
Of course, we're getting the cartoons. I can remember. Yeah, we're getting into
We're getting into Spider-Man villains, which again, it's fine. It's okay. It's
Whatever.
because
Anyway, Batman villain.
Yeah.
God, I just see like a list of 60 just flying through my head.
Same. That's where I'm at.
God.
Just talking about, and like, because then like,
Because like I like the Joker, but
he's not my favorite by no means.
He is one of my favorites, but he's like one of those if you don't like him, are you a fan type thing.
Right. It's like that's just, it almost feels like too easy or too cliche.
Because he is the perfect chaotic villain to match somebody with the most
morality.
Their morals are the most solid and in check, and will never ever falter. Well, mainstream Batman won't ever falter. The ones that snap and kill people, that's completely different. That's not the Batman that we're talking here.
That's just it for me. A lot of the ones flying through my head too, and I'm weird that way when it comes to, because I do love.
I see Calendar Man going through there. The Penguin, who is iconic.
See, I love the iconic,
Zsasz.
but I also love the underrated ones. Yeah, Calendar Man, Zsasz. More underrated ones that I would say is
the
Toymaker, Mad Hatter, Clock King. I was just Ventriloquist, the Ventriloquist, the Dummy. It's one of my favorites. Heck, even Talon, like, because we've not seen the Court of Owls.
Yeah,
really,
that's
yeah, dude.
What if the new movie is based on the Court of Owls? That would be.
Well, here's the thing, right? And this is where it could get interesting. I don't know for sure that it will be, but it could lead into it, because here's my thing. They're leaning into the Riddler thing, right, with the first teaser and stuff. But Matt Reeves, the director, did come out and saying that Riddler is not going to be exactly a villain. Like, he's not going, like, he's going to be.
I got a feeling this is going to start like the whole Batverse, but the Batverse that lasts, if that makes sense. Kind of like how the MCU is. Because they've already said that the Flash movie, when it comes out, he's going to cross realms. He's going to see Val Kilmer's Batman. I think it's Val Kilmer. No, who's the other
I know
one?
Michael Keaton's going to be in it.
Michael Keaton. Yeah, that one. He's going to see him in the movie as an older Batman, or older Bruce Wayne, either or. Probably both. He's going to do like time travel, flippity-dippity stuff. It's just, there's a lot of stuff in the Flash movie that's going to like set this whole universe up, supposedly.
Set up a multiverse and stuff, yeah. That'd be awesome. Like I said, I would love that, and like makes sense, especially with the Robert Pattinson one, because he's young, he's fresh to it. It's supposed to be based in his second year as Batman. So the time frame is he's only been Batman for a year. He's starting his second year as Batman. So he's young and fresh. He's just getting introduced to some of these villains. And I think that'll make it really, I would like to see it kind of last and go out, because it looks like they're going to be doing some really, really good casting already. I'm already super excited for it. But yeah, dude, if they set up for Court of Owls, would be amazing, because they did a little bit of Court of Owls in the Gotham TV show. And I did love the Gotham TV show. I thought it was really good. But I would love to see like a big screen, more of a presence, more of a legit Court of Owls, especially with like Talon coming in. Dude, yeah, even like some other heavy hitters like Bane, Poison Ivy.
Hopefully they stay away from Ra's al Ghul for a while, though.
I do too, but I do love Ra's al Ghul.
I do like Ra's. And the one in the cartoons is way creepier than the ones they've ever put on screen.
Right. Like back in the day, and you'll know this when we was growing up, Ra's was my favorite Batman villain for a long time there. And he might still be. See, and here's the thing. Here's where I got to ask you a question. Where do we draw the line between what is considered a Batman villain and what is considered a villain that Batman has faced, but has also like bigger DC scale? You see what I'm saying? So my example is Deathstroke, because Batman has fought Deathstroke a lot. They're considered pretty big nemesis, but Deathstroke has also fought Green Arrow. He's fought the Teen Titans. He's fought the Justice League.
I feel like he is more of a Teen Titan villain.
I do too.
And more accurately, a Nightwing villain.
I would agree with that. And that's why, like, he's crossed over into Batman. He's crossed over into Green Arrow. But I do think he mainly focuses on that realm.
And the thing is, like, I think the reason he even, like, I know I'm not a writer for the freaking comics, but I feel like just if you were to break down Slade, Deathstroke, whatever, his whole psyche is he wanted the perfect son to carry on his legacy.
Right.
He's jealous of Batman because he has Nightwing, who is the perfect protege.
Right. Which is fair.
And,
Makes sense.
psychiatrically, he's going to be like, wish I had that. Why can't my son? Oh, wait, that's right. My son's freaking dead.
Yeah. Poor Jericho.
Half the time he gets killed in the comics, but I know even
Right.
in the Titan show he got killed, so there's that.
Yeah. It's that's what I'm saying. But and you can see that kind of because every time that like he fights Grayson, he's constantly also kind of trying to mentor him. Like every time him and Slade fight, Slade's like, "Oh, you've gotten better. Oh, you really
should
should
have
have
done
watched that one."
this.
Yeah, like he's still mentoring him while he's trying to fight him.
He's trying to manipulate him into being
Right.
one of his.
his protege.
And I can respect that, but at the same time, like Nightwing has the same kind of code as Bruce
yeah.
to a certain extent. But Nightwing also knows when a threat is too much of a threat to be kept around.
Agreed. And
but to answer your question,
yes.
oh man, I had this whole time to think about it, and I still have it. I even looked up a list while you were going on. There's like 61 villains in that list, by the way, at least.
Jeez, but still, I mean,
I guess for now,
right? Like it doesn't have to be your top favorite, just a favorite that you'd throw out.
One
like
of my
top three,
favorites
maybe.
would be the Riddler because he fights in a completely different way. He's not out here throwing punches and trying to like, oh well, you've got a bomb to disarm. He's trying to get the Batman to not be smarter than him, which good luck with.
Right. And one of mine, I don't know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite, but one of them that I really like, an underrated Batman villain that similar to Riddler is a Hugo Strange. I really like because Hugo Strange, his whole thing is about more of a mental psychiatric side of things. He figures out Bruce Wayne's identity just by deduction kind of thing. He's one of the few people to do that. But personally, if we're going Batman villains, because I don't want to use like anti-heroes either. So like I'm not counting Red Hood, and as bad as I want to count like Azrael, I don't want to count him either because he was Batman for a while. Like,
well, here's the thing. Hugo Strange would be one of the perfect villains because he is the single and only person to figure out that Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same.
Just through
person.
deduction, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like that's what makes him so good. But for me, I'm gonna say for my favorite, I know it's kind of cheating, but I'm doing a split between two. I would either stick with my Ra's al Ghul thing because I do just Ra's is just such a good opponent to Bruce. He's always been, I mean, right down to the fact that technically Ra's is the grandfather of Bruce's son. But the other one I would say that's a really big one on Bruce is a Hush.
Yeah.
I mean, it created a whole big thing. And now I know there's multiple versions of Hush because there's the version that is Jason Todd was Hush for a little bit, but there was also the original Hush was Richard something, I think. He was, or Thomas, or was it Thomas? He was one of Bruce's like childhood friends or something that knew him growing up and stuff, which is crazy. But yeah, that would be what I would say. Next one, I have a bit of a riddle me this question deal from we used our little questionnaire. This will be similar, but I think you'll like this one. So you get to choose between the Batmobile, the Bat Cave, or a Bat suit, utility belt included, to have. So like you get full access to the Bat Cave. But now when I say the Bat Cave, it doesn't mean it's not a cheap thing. The suit is not in there and the Batmobile is not in there. You just get the cave
to make those in there.
Well, here's the thing. You will have the computer. You'll get the Bat computer included, and all of like his little collectible stuff, like the giant penny and T-Rex, and all the little platforms and walkways and stuff. But the actual Bat vehicles won't be in there, and the Bat suits won't be in there. Now, what you do with the Bat computer is on you. Or you can have the Bat suit itself with utility belt, fully stocked utility belt included, with gadgets and stuff. Or you can have a Batmobile, and you can pick your Batmobile. If you choose that over the suit and cave, you can even pick what version of the Batmobile you want with all of its gadgets and whatnots.
I feel like you should have just made it between the Batmobile and the suit, because all you have to do is have the cave, and then the computer's going to know how to make all the other stuff.
I mean, maybe.
I think Bruce didn't put how to make an extra Batmobile if something was to happen to the original.
Okay, yeah, but if he's selling the Batcave, I don't think he's just going to leave that information.
Oh, you're saying if you buy, you have to buy one.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to leave the materials. You would have to look it up and then get all the parts and put it all together from scratch. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could do it, but it's going to be a lot more hassle than if you just pick the suit or the Batmobile. Plus, like, if you get the suit and it's not going to come, if you buy it online or put it together yourself, you've also got to put together all the utility. I'm giving you, if you pick the suit, you get the belt fully loaded.
An odd question, my friend. This is an odd question.
Fair enough, but I think it's a good question. You get Batsuit, Batcave, or Batmobile. You take your pick.
I think I'm still going to go with the Batcave, because I'll just take the time to find everything, I guess.
I think same, honestly. And that was my whole thing. It's like, well, like, if I just get the Batcave itself with the Bat computer and all the trophies, and I get the empty cases, again, I would just design my own superhero stuff, right? I would just make it my own superhero lair. I can design my own costumes and stuff, and I ain't gonna worry about that. But then I also, the thing is, if I got a bat suit, then I would just use that and the utility belt to get whatever I need to make my own cave. But I want the cave. I would pick the cave too. What else has we got on here? All right. Okay, so we got a few more things. First up, I want to talk about the Gotham Knights video game. How much of that do you know about?
Not a lot at all. I just know you play as Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, or Red Hood.
Right.
That's pretty much, and it's got the fighting style of the Arkham games.
Right. So, and it's multiplayer. Now the only downside is you can only play 2-player multiplayer at a time. You got 4 characters, but you can only play 2 people at a time. I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but hey, I'll take it. It still looks amazing. Looks very exciting. I'm excited to play it. I think they kind of teased that it would have something to do with Court of Owls, maybe. I mean, obviously there's gonna be other Batman villains, but it would be, because I know like the gameplay footage they showed last year, I think was a Batgirl fighting Mr. Freeze. I think it was like a Mr. Freeze level.
Can we just stop for a second and
yes,
appreciate how crazy it is that the Court of Owls is not that far off from what governments actually do for cities?
Right. Right. Or even, I mean, it's also kind of similar like League of Shadows. Right? Like Court of Owls and League of Shadows are kind of eerily similar, and they're both eerily similar to like some modern day government.
I mean, the Court of Owls is just like,
Right.
This guy, this rich guy right here could pose a threat to everything in the city. Let's just off him real quick.
Right, and just make it look as shady as possible. I mean, and I guess that's the one difference between Court of Owls and League of Shadows, right? Court of Owls says there is a corrupt mayor in this town. Let's take out the mayor. League of Shadows says the mayor of this town's corrupt. Let's take out the whole town. So, I mean,
more or less.
It's like Court of Owls is like, we just need to take out this one guy, and League of Shadows like, burn it all, take it all down, start again.
Once that a snake even looked at it, burn the whole house down.
Right. Right. Oh gosh. Oh man. But it's exactly like so the next thing is, obviously I wanted to talk some more about the new Batman movie a little bit. So they did release, and I'm gonna roll over here just a minute. So I'm gonna try to send you these.
Don't pay any attention to the back of his head just disappearing and reappearing.
Oh, been attacked by Siler. It's okay. come to steal my powers that I don't have. The Batman, because I guess today, before tomorrow, they released 2 new Batman movie posters, and I wanted to show them to you. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but if you have or if you haven't, I wanted to send them to you and get your thoughts. There's 1. There's 2. Okay. Oh, how did I get back to you, sir? Wait, here we go. Whoa, I'm no. Okay, so I'm gonna send these 2 posters. So these were both released today. You should be able to find. One is of actual Batman or the Batman cast in like a red light. The other one is of Riddler, from the new movie, holding the little envelopes as to the Batman. So the first one, yeah, the first one is like the Batman in his costume or garb, his uniform, with like a red light over the background. It's even shining. His symbol looks really red, and it's raining really hard.
You see about
Stylistically,
being able to try to pull this up here. Okay.
okay.
It's kind of blocking
Stylistically, it's
us, but
beautiful. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Um, I like it. I like anything with like a rain effect over it, and I love the color
well, the
red.
thing I like the most, and I'm going to use my cursor here. You probably can't see it, but I like
It's
how
okay.
it's got like the almost like the collar up around his neck.
Yeah, I do too. It very kind of Gotham by Gaslight, but also again, this is year 2 Batman, year 2 Bruce, and also I'm still really wondering and hoping. I kind of like the concept of that everybody's saying the metal he uses for the symbol is the gun metal from the gun that killed his parents. Hope that is true because that's sick as I'll get out in a good
And the
way.
second
Also,
picture,
March 4th. Second picture is of the Riddler. It's kind of blurry, kind of dark, hard to see him a little bit, but I kind of like that. He's kind of like
but you can see it
faded out,
says
faded
to
out.
the Batman.
Right, and like sloppy handwriting, which who might have talked. He's got even got like a little question mark, like the one solid question mark right there on it. Very spooky. It does kind of give you very dark, kind of spooky vibes. Again, only in theaters March 4th. Even that font is very dark and almost goes to like a horror kind of almost feels like a horror movie, thriller type movie, but Batman, that's a big part of Batman, right? So I kind of dig that.
I like both of those.
I do too. They released both of those today, so that's the hype is real right now, to be honest. And March 4th, people, that's going to be here before you know it. We are cruising right along for that. Yeah. So my other question is, have you seen the new Batman trailer or the teaser
The
trailer
teaser,
they
yeah.
released last
Me and you watched it together.
year? Okay. Okay, I couldn't remember if we watched
But
it.
commenting on what you said about the symbol, from what I understand, that is actually the pistol broken like cut down the middle to make the
Okay.
bat symbol.
That's what I was thinking. I knew it was something along those lines, and I actually really like that. Like, I like that concept and that
Which
idea.
Bruce Wayne has swore off to ever use a gun, but who's to say in this movie he doesn't, like, it's Bruce Wayne. He could have a thing where he's in trouble and all of a sudden that pops out and he puts it together and starts waving it like, mess with me now.
And here's the thing. Here's what I like about this. Here, let's dive into this, okay? Bruce Wayne, yes, Batman and Bruce Wayne, as we know him, has always sworn off using guns because of what happened to his parents and stuff. But again, here's the fun part. We don't know when he made that promise. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, he made it at the night when his parents died. We don't know. He wasn't Batman then. This is year 2. He's only been Batman for a year. He's a young, very fresh Batman. They already said he's going to be a lot more brutal from that one scene when he's fighting that dude. He's way more brutal. So again, this is still him learning what his rules are and what they aren't. So like you said, who's to say he doesn't use a gun at some point in this, but then by doing so, somewhere on this journey, that'll be part of his arc is when he makes that promise and learns not to use fire or not to take a life. Maybe he does in this one at some point, and then he realizes, hey, now I'm just like the guy that killed my parents. I need to be better than this.
You can only imagine how many people he may or may not have killed anyway because of the amount of force that one of his punches has.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I recall reading something like one of Batman's punches is like 1,000 pounds of pressure.
Jeez, I mean, I believe it. I mean, the dude has been trained by the best. He uses the best.
Well,
He
I
is the
was
best.
looking up, and I mean, yeah, I'm fat, whatever. I was looking up like a Bruce Wayne type workout. If you did exactly what he does, based off the regimen that the shows have always had him doing, there's no way to do that whole workout in a single day. Yet he
Right,
somehow has time.
right.
And you can argue, oh, well, he don't have to work because of Wayne Enterprise. No, time wise, there
He's
is
still
not enough time. The guy
right.
runs 20 miles a day. He does 10 sets of 100 push-ups. He does this, that, and like it's just too much stuff.
Well, not only that, but he does still do all the Bruce Wayne stuff. He still makes time because he's got to keep up appearances. So he does still do other things outside of being Batman. Um, yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, again, that's what makes them superheroes, right? That's what makes them
Well,
larger
here's
than
the
life
thing that
characters.
one thing I remember reading was at some point Bruce Wayne quit putting on the cowl and Batman started putting on Bruce Wayne because
Oh, that's a good quote. I like
Batman
that.
Batman is the persona. Bruce Wayne is the cover up.
Dude, let me tell you, I don't know. I know you may not be into these games. I don't know if we've heard, but I know I've talked to other people, friends and family, and they're not into the Telltale games at all whatsoever. But they did do 2 Batman Telltale games,
They're
2
all right.
full
My buddy,
like.
he goes by Hot Sauce. He has a YouTube.
Alright.
Well, he did. I don't know if he's still putting stuff up, but it's Hot Sauce. If anyone wants to look it up. Um, he did a bunch of the Telltale games, like The Walking Dead, The Batman, all those Telltale games. And
Yeah.
I watched most of his on the Batman stuff.
Well, see, that's what I love is in the Telltale Batman, they always give you the choice when you're going to go do something because that's where that big conflict is. You can go as Bruce Wayne or go as Batman. Like there's one where you got to go talk to the mayor and you can go see him as Bruce Wayne and try to appeal to the whole like human nature of it, or you can choose to go as Batman and intimidate him, hold him out the window, that kind of thing. And like there's multiple times in both games where you have that choice. You got to choose. Are you Batman? Or are you Bruce Wayne? And the more you choose a certain one, the more your kind of story evolves to where like you were saying, it's less Bruce putting on a cowl, more Batman putting on Bruce Wayne. Um, and so but I liked that it did that it puts you in that role where like, okay, if you're in this scenario, superhero thing, you got to choose. It's kind of like again, sorry to go kind of referencing another Marvel. Probably it's the same one, but because they're very similar in a weird way. But Spider-Man in the new Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, um, Doctor Strange at one point even calls him out in the trailer. He says you can't keep living both worlds. You can't choose to be Spider-Man and Peter Parker. You've got to make a choice. And that's a superhero thing. Not like I think most superheroes go through that, or at least most of your
There's only
I
one
don't know.
person that's ever broke that exception.
Yeah,
Tony Stark.
true.
Because he just
Because
straight out said, "Hey, I'm
I
Iron
am
Man."
Iron Man, and then he lived the both best of both worlds. So I will give credit there.
But
Yeah,
the
that's
thing is,
fair.
like, it wasn't the fact that he said he was Iron Man. He wasn't out there doing vigilante crap all the time.
Right,
He only stepped in when he knew that him or some of the other Avengers was the only fail safe to fix.
right, and that's fair. And like I said, and that's the thing. Or yeah, like 9 times out of 10, it was a lot of times to clean up whenever he had done the gun running stuff or like his dad's gun or arms deals and stuff. A lot of times it was him just cleaning up his not
Own
necessarily I won't say
mess.
his own mess, but it was in a way
Oh yeah,
his
it
company's
was.
mess or his dad's mess. Yeah.
But
Um.
in the Dark Knight Returns, when Superman and Batman are fighting, the cartoon the animated one where Green
Yeah.
Arrow's got one arm.
Yeah.
Uh, the reason that Bruce dies there is so that the Batman can always be around.
Right.
Bruce has faked his death before just so the Batman was the only thing that could exist.
Right. It's like well, one of the guys I watch on TikTok. I think it's Panda Red is his TikTok. And he does a lot of the Wayne family stuff and like Bat family, like little
Is he the
sketches and
one
stuff.
that like Damien's got the sunglasses and
Yeah, yeah. He's got like a mohawk, Kirk, like
yeah?
a short mohawk. Like, I love his videos. The
They're
dude is a
funny. They're
genius,
great.
and he's so good. But one of the ones I liked, or no, it wasn't even him. I'm sorry. It wasn't even him. He does do really good ones, though. I did like the one that he did recently where they're stakeouts. But
I
the
need to
topic
watch
I
that
was
one.
thinking of is the web comics. They actually have little web comics now about Wayne Family Adventures. Um, and it's kind of similar to his sketches and stuff, but they're like little short comics that you can read. It's on an app. They're free for the most part, but you only get so many episodes per so often. Like right now, I'm on episodes or not episode, but comic issue 6 or whatever. But issue 7 unlocks in like 4 days, or I could pay like $5 and unlock it early or something. So I just wait and read it each week. But the most recent one they did was initiating. I think it was Luke, not Luke Fox. It's the other one. Just became like one of the new Batman, Lucius's son.
It's
Um,
Luke.
okay, that's what I was saying. But
Pretty
where
sure
he's
it's
becoming,
Lucas Fox.
it may be, but where he's becoming new
Supposed to be
Batman, he's
Nightwing
there.
or
What?
Batwing that turns into Batman.
He was Batwing, and now I think he's the next Batman. But so he's like with the rest of the Bat family. They're doing what they call like sidekick roulette or Batman roulette or something. Or bingo. It's Batman bingo or sidekick bingo. And he's like, what's that? And they were saying,
Yeah, it's
oh,
Luke
like
Fox.
Luke Fox. And they were saying like, oh, it's sidekick bingo. So like how many times have you ever was it? Trying to think of some of the examples, but the main one that I was going to get to is they say, well, how many times have you died and been brought back to life? And like Damien raises his hand, Jason Todd raises his hand. One of the female Robins raises their hand. I can't remember which one. I think it was
That Kelly.
Stephanie Brown or Kelly, maybe. Yeah. But then Nightwing goes, does the whole incident with the crime syndicate count? And Jason Todd's like, no. And then I think it's Kelly's like, well, I think it should. And he goes, fine, I'm counting it. Because the whole thing faking your own death kind of deal with the whole crime syndicate. That was kind of recent. I mean, it's been a few years, but the whole Nightwing thing, which I mean, granted, you could also say in Injustice he died, but I don't think he came back from that one.
No.
Yeah, but so the only thing he's really had is the crime syndicate thing where they faked his death, if I'm right. So he could go undercover and do all the Spiral and all the Agent Grayson stuff. Fun little arc though, by the way. Oh, that was it. One of the other bingos had multiple code names or different names for your sidekick character and different personality and costume changes. But yeah, I like little stuff like that to dive into. So yeah, so that's some Batman chats, and we can definitely, like I said, we can go on for a while talking about rogues galleries and Batman stuff. And I'm definitely keeping an eye out for DC Fandom tomorrow. Let us know if you watch it, what things you're excited for, what things you enjoyed. Let us know some of these answers to these questions. Batmobile, Batcave, Batsuit. Your favorite Batman villain, maybe your favorite Batman actor. Comment below and let us know. If you have any questions you'd like to see us answer that are like superhero related or nerd related, nerd themed, if you want to ask us a question about Batman or DC or superheroes in general or about any of the things we talked about, just if you just want to ask us about our day or how we're doing, shoot it down in the comments and we'll answer it on the next. We'll get caught up and answered on the next previously on. But yeah, I think that's going to about do it for me. Did you have any closing thoughts?
Clayface is underrated, and he should be in more stuff.
I agree. I will add also, while you're liking, comment, subscribing, and sharing, and enjoy, as always, enjoy. We will, like I said, we got big things coming. So I've got a taste test video that I'm going to try to get up sometime this week or weekend. And then maybe next week, I'm thinking we'll try to aim whenever you're off and stuff. Whenever you have time around your vacation, we'll try to get some of those Sea of Thieves things in. I don't know when the new Grounded update's coming out, but we'll have to look. And I know there's a new update coming out for it. We'll try to play. I actually downloaded some new spooky games. Lord help me, on the Xbox that was on Games Pass that I think you guys are going to get a kick out of. They look really scary. They're like first-person walk-through jump scare games.
which are always fun to watch him do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to do some of those for you guys because how much I love you guys. We're gonna be doing some more baby videos and kind of breaking down some stuff there. Like I said, I've got a lot of ideas for those type videos. Yeah, and so we got a lot of things planned. I'm also wanting to do more spooky videos, especially with Halloween getting closer. So next couple weeks, I'm going to try to plan some ideas and some discussions revolving around horror and Halloween and spooky related things with Dotch here. And yeah, so definitely keep an eye on the channel. Be sure to spread us around, hit the bell so you stay notified and up to date with current and future videos. Go through some of our back catalog, check out some of our videos. Be sure to comment and answer some questions. Let us know, give us a shout out or ask us some questions. It'd be great for us to answer. If you have any spooky questions you want answered or any Halloween related questions or topics you want to see us talk about, throw them our way.
Like
And
very, very supernatural things.
yeah, for sure. So
Witches,
definitely
ghouls, goblins, ghosts,
werewolves, vampires, mummies,
curses, demons.
spells. I was going to say wizards, but I don't know if that's really scary. Warlocks maybe is more
Warlocks, definitely.
true. Tim Curry, kind of scary. Clowns, yeah.
Clowns aren't scary at all. Don't lie to you.
You're gonna die, clown. That's a reference for people people that get that one. That's the real ones.
Off Zombieland?
That is off of Happy Gilmore when he's at the putt putt golf
Oh
course.
yeah,
and
because
it keeps
Zombieland it
walking.
is F this clown.
Yeah,
And he beats him in
exactly.
the head with a mallet.
And then in It Chapter 1, the kid says like I'm sick of these effing clowns or I'm sick of effing clowns, and then stabs him through the head with a rod. So many things, so many clown lines. Goodness. So, which is, you know what? That's going to bring me into. We gotta wrap it up because I'm already getting ideas for more conversations to talk about. Which we'll get to on a later time. Maybe that'll be something that can kind of bridge the gap next time. But anyhow, I digress. We'll save all the fun stuff for later. All right, buddy. And so thank you for joining us this week. And we're gonna wrap it up here, and we will see you guys next time. Bye
Bye.
bye.